Welcome to episode 3 of Asian Guys Incorporated. I'm Rick. This is
Dustin
and
Brian.
Today we will be talking about working for other people and working for yourself.
It's
It's a big topic lately because it seems like everyone's quitting their job, right?
oh,
Why? Everyone has a perfectly fine job and they're quitting. It's called the Great Resignation. Like, what do you think about it?
so I hear. I mean, but at my job, no such thing is happening. It seems that everyone's moving to a bigger company, better company. But then again, my job is trying to help out with the work-life balance.
Your job is to help out?
Yeah,
with work
no,
life
no,
balance?
not my job. It's my workplace is trying to accommodate
Right,
the work-life
right,
balance
right.
a lot. So, like
Right.
for example, we no longer have Friday meetings.
Yeah.
We have a double D sick day /
Double D sick days?
yeah, double sick days compared
Oh,
to
okay.
before COVID. So like personal days.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can take off without any reasons.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have double the days.
Yeah.
Wow.
So from 5 days to 10 days. So 10 days of months is almost 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So vacation still there. Also, we are running at 70% capacity, meaning compared to before COVID, we work 30% less. We are working from home. That's one of the reasons a lot of people, are not stressed as well.
Not stress?
No, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
even I'm working, and I have so much time at hand because we are working so much less.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, none of your bosses see this.
I mean, it is true. It's a company policy to operate at 70% because
Oh.
But they mandated it's at 70%.
Yeah,
Because they don't want you to get sick.
yeah, I guess so because the whole workload became 70% if you think about it. That's all the planning, all the execution, everything, right? And this thing kind of multiplies. So in the end, compared to before COVID, I am really not working as much like before.
Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, but
I think
but,
businesses, the bosses all want to hear that so they can just give you more work.
But given that I am working in the big banks of Canada, which is one of the good jobs in Canada, so that's my situation. But what did you want to say in the?
What do you mean what I want to say?
Well, when you brought the topic, you must have some point.
No,
that you
like
discussed.
what's your experience working for other people and what's it like working for yourself? Yeah.
Brian,
Yeah.
how about you? You are the one who's the enterprising.
Well, I mean, I was already planning to. I mean, I've already done training for like a lot of years already, right? Like more than 10 years, right? So I was already.
Like physical trainer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I've been doing it for a long time and I've already run my course. Like I can still do it part-time, but I mean, I wanted to leave anyway. So,
So is there a difference between as a personal trainer working for somebody and working by yourself? Is there a big difference for you?
no, it's the same. Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah, because,
Really?
personal training is very independent. That's
Really?
one of the things I liked about it.
Didn't they force you to do overtime?
No.
Because I think my
yeah.
brother worked for a certain big
Gym?
brand in gym in Toronto, and he said
there's only
when he
one.
first started out, he got they forced him to work very early, like 5,
Oh, well,
Like
that makes
5 in the
sense, yeah.
morning.
Somebody has to open
And
up the
then-
gym.
and then he didn't get paid for it, right? He only got paid
What?
for.
Don't they get paid by an hour or no? Salary.
You get paid per client.
They get paid per client,
Wow.
but they forced him to come in really early, right?
Yeah.
And then he had to be on the floor so much he couldn't eat lunch. And then I don't know, he was complaining once that he took a bit of time off, just a bit longer, and then some client got angry or annoyed, and he had to write a letter of apology or something. And then he wouldn't get off until like really late at night. The whole thing would start all over again, right? So I wasn't in Canada at that time,
When was this?
but God, 10 years ago maybe. Yeah.
Well,
Maybe rules were
that
different
chain
at that
is
time.
the chain.
Yeah.
Did you work in a big chain as well?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the thing is, I switched chains, right? And because so I was with a big chain, and then they got swallowed up by another bigger chain, right? So I think at that time, probably when your brother was doing it, I was with the other chain. And yeah, still same thing. Like they can't force you. I mean, they can't force you. You pick your own hours. I mean, I chose to work in the morning in the beginning, and then later in the end. You know, I make my own hours, so I just decided to do more late at night because I'm more of a late guy.
But it seems like my brother, just the way he put it, they just squeezed him into it. Like he just had
Yeah,
no
possibly
choice.
that chain before.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's the same chain I joined later.
Yeah.
But by the time I joined later, you know, you had that freedom. You know.
Right. Okay.
So yeah. So I've never experienced where they force you to, but it doesn't matter because I force myself to, you know, do all these hours. I actually work from all the way early to all the way late, right? So I did train like, you know, 11 clients, 12 clients a day sometimes, right?
Don't they have actual employee who can open the door? Does it have to be a trainer?
No, not in our gym anyway.
Really?
Yeah, you have other people open it, and then you know you're only focused on training. That's it. You don't.
Yeah,
do,
so in a way, your brother was treated like employee slash trainer, which is kind of a, or I wouldn't assume that every employee is a trainer. Is what I mean.
I really don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they had other staff to do other things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it sounded really bad the way he explained it. Yeah. Sorry for interrupting. It's
No,
just,
I guess it was really bad before.
yeah.
I think they probably learned from the chain that I was with, because the chain that I went to later, they learned a lot of things from the chain that went down as well. So they adopted all the things that worked for them, and then they try to get rid of all the bad things which didn't work that we didn't like, and yeah, it was successful. And like, you know, I definitely enjoyed my experience with the second company a lot better.
Yeah.
Because even at that time I was thinking of leaving also. You know, yeah. But the whole training career was very independent, so it's actually pretty much the same as if I did it for myself, right? So yeah.
So we have this discount chain called, what was it called? The discount one, like you pay like $10 for 2 weeks, pay
I
less.
forget what it's called, but it's like open 24 hours.
Yeah, something like
It's,
that.
it's owned by the big one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know it's owned by the big one.
You know who you are.
But I'm wondering how that place and the trainers, are there trainers in that one or no?
So that one, I don't believe there is trainers. I mean, you could, I guess, pay for a trainer to come with you.
Okay.
But that whole clientele of people is people that are cheap, that they don't want to pay. So I don't think they would, pay $10 to have a membership just so you could pay like a trainer that costs a lot more money to come with you, right?
Okay, out of curiosity, what's the usual going rate for a personal trainer nowadays?
Well, I guess, I mean, it goes anywhere from
Say middle of the median, I guess.
like $50 and all the way up to, hundreds, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
That's not the what the $10 per 2 weeks people I guess are going for.
Exactly. Right. So that's why it wouldn't make any sense, right? Yeah. Unless you get some kind of, discount trainer, which you don't want that. Yeah.
Right. No. The thing, I haven't been to a gym since like 2002, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And those big
That's a long
boxes,
time ago. Yeah. I mean, I forget exactly when training started, but
although my ex-wife is also in the fitness business, so
yes.
Yeah. All right. Good.
But yeah, it's for me it's the same. Like that's why I was always, branching out on my own anyway. And I like doing my own schedule, training people, and leading people however I like.
Okay, so I imagine that you don't have to pay the cut to the gym anymore because you are by your own.
Yes, that's right.
On the other hand, is there anything bad about running on your own business in terms of services, clientele, or locations, etc., or is it just better by being independent?
Well, I mean, now I'm only interested in doing it part-time, and now at the moment it's online.
Right. Brian's trying to be more of a life coach, not personal trainer per se.
Yeah, I mean, well, everything is going to go more towards life coaching, right? I mean, but everything, training, life coaching everything's online now anyway, right? I would prefer to see people live, but it also, there's many advantages. to doing it online, right? So you cut down travel time and all these kinds of things, and I can train or coach people that are around the world. So that's pretty awesome.
Oh, nice.
Online coaching means like they have a camera and they work out in front of you and you can point out what's wrong in them, or
Well, when
It's
I'm
not
talking,
just working out. He's like talking like
yeah, when I'm talking
life
about
coaching.
life coaching,
Oh, okay, I see.
it's just like having a Zoom call or whatever, and then we're talking about other things like happiness or feeling fulfilled in your life or whatever, right? But I mean, training, this is where training, I can do it, but it's gonna, I'm pretty sure, like phase out, because for one, it's a lot more complicated to try to do physical things, right? Because both ends, right? Like for me, I'm set up at home now, but if my client wants to train, they have to figure out what equipment they have, if they have the space to do it, if they're in a small space, like do they have other people living there, like it's difficult, right? So it's most likely I mean, I would only do it if really the situation was really optimal for both of us and I have the time to do it. But really, life coaching is going to be more rewarding for me as well, right? So like really, I was moving towards that anyway, because this is what I found in so many years of training, like personal training. It's a lot of things that get people in people's way of their physical goals. It's actually all psychological. So that I spend a lot of extra time talking to people about other things that really don't have anything necessarily directly to do with their physical body, right? But everyone eats too much for a reason. Everyone is unhappy for a reason. Everybody finds working out difficult for psychological reasons,
which leads to his actual real job, psychiatrist.
Well, this is a funny thing, right?
Didn't you say people like came to you because they need a friend?
When I was training people for so many years, you really realize that people, so now I realize this as a life coach, is that 80% of being successful in anything, doesn't matter what it is, it's 80% psychological. It doesn't matter whether you want more money, you want more love in your life, you want to be happy, whatever. All the things, it all comes down to psychology. 80% is the deciding factor of your success in something. Yeah. So people get in their own way, right? And it's a sad thing, but at the same time, it's a very common thing. Everybody, this is where in our previous topics, we were talking about how we're dealing with the symptoms and not with the actual root. The root of everything is your psychology, right?
So have you ever worked a really shitty job that led you to this conclusion, or just led you on the path to this conclusion?
Of this conclusion of psychology?
Yeah, you must have worked some really shitty jobs in your life. Everyone's been in a shitty job. So let's compare that. You have what you're doing now. Compare that to what brought you there.
Well,
what's the
I would
shitty ass job?
I would say that the psychology thing, I really realized that in training. But I mean, all along the way, my whole path.
Yeah, let's hear some complaining about some shitty old jobs.
All of my
People
jobs.
want to hear complaining. Come on.
Well, I mean, I started working at a fairly young age, right? So I did.
Yeah, tell us about your journey. That's what people
It's a
want.
very long journey. I don't know if you have all this time, but I'll skip through it as fast as quickly as possible.
The juicy bits.
But I started when I was probably a teenager, working. And I worked in sales, and so that was fun. It helped me get out of my shell. So this is how I used to be super shy. And this really helped me become more social and really people, So that was a big personal growth for me. And then I like sales. And what was it? Then I moved into some really, the worst job I ever had probably. It was physically grueling. I was older, but I had to do pot washing. Right. And it was the most physical, but at the time I was also taking Taekwondo. So I looked at it like the old Kung Fu style of training, right? I go to work and, I'd stick my whole arm into hot water. And it was just mental training for me.
How big were those pots?
They're huge, yeah. They're you could fit a small person in there, because when you clean those things, you have to use your whole arm, right? it wasn't big like those kung fu movies where you can jump in, but it's like you can fit a small child in there, right?
Yeah.
And but anyway, that was one of the most physically grueling, and I mastered that job. So I was able to look at a whole, I mean, seriously, my shoes were all dirty every day.
Why'd you do that when you were in sales? Didn't sales make a lot of money in commissions?
No, sales. It was just like a small store. My sister ran it, right? So I probably didn't get paid that much, and it was just just for fun, right? Yeah, it was just for fun. And
no, like I knew a lot of people who worked in sales, and they just kind of just kept going with it.
Yeah.
Because if you worked in retail, like selling clothes, like a lot of people just kind of just go with it, right?
Yeah.
I find people tend to have like a job in high school, and then they just keep going on with it, even well after university, right? And sometimes it's even so hard to break away from it because they're so used to it.
Yeah.
That it's just like a conscious effort. Oh, I've been in sales since I was like 15, so
Well, I guess if you make some lots of cash with commissions, maybe, but otherwise it's not really work.
Yeah, it's just that I know a lot of people who's been stuck in sales,
whether they're successful or not.
No, like they want to move on with their life, but it's just they're good at it.
Yeah.
And people just keep telling them, hey, we need a person on this shift, and and coming out of university, it's really hard to get into whatever field you study, right? So these people would just end up just keep doing it. And then their university isn't cutting it, so they go to college and to get some other skills, and they're still working in freaking sales,
Yeah, sales is really important job.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know, but it's just, I'm just curious why you would leave sales.
Well, I was 12 or 13. I was very young when I did it, so it wasn't, it was just fun, right? So I wouldn't take it as a serious job. I just at that time I was like happy to like kind of pretend to be an adult, right? I saw like kids working in a butcher store once, and I was like, wow, they're so young, and they were like taking orders and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I want to work too,
Do you remember back in the days when not Best Buy, before Best Buy, Future Shop,
yeah,
employees were getting paid by commission,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And people were super aggressive, trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
You were
why we
12?
love Best Buy now. What?
You were 12? Were you selling cocaine on the street?
No, we're just selling like, cheap stuff in a sidewalk sale in summertime. It was just fun.
Cocaine.
There was music and, and I was starting to get, I think, interested in girls and stuff. So, you get pretty girls that come by, and I'm like, oh, wow, it's cool. I get to like have a reason to chat with them and stuff, right? So it's kind of good to work on those skills as well.
I did sales just a tad bit for my friend, and he ran this business selling Japanese goods, right? Like animation goods.
Okay.
So we would help him when we go to conventions, sell his wares, right? He had books and he had cards and stuff like that, right? And it was fun because, there's no pressure, whatever. It's just going to a Comic-Con or...
So one of those booths at the...
and there's people coming back and forth. But my God, man, that was a shock to see the type of people involved.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Like, okay, so we had like a binder of Sailor Moon cards, right? You'd buy Sailor Moon cards from Japan, you'd stick them in a binder, and people buy them just separately, right? And then we figured, okay, some kids are gonna come by and they're gonna buy some cards and be like, Mom, give me $2, right? What really, that binder, what it really drew in was these old white dudes, right? They're bald with glasses, and they look like some guy who would just be an accountant or something, right? With their little mustache and everything. So this one guy took out every card, right? One by one, and he told me what happened in that episode. This is when Serena stuffed her face with cotton candy. They had so much fun that day.
Oh, that's golden. Yeah.
So
I can already picture this Simpsons fat guy.
Jesus Christ! Someone called the FBI, or like the Canadian version of it, and we got some weirdo on the loose.
Yeah, the comic book guy in The Simpsons, right?
There's no hate on anime people. I love anime people, but sometimes you just get the weirdest people showing up at these conventions, right? Oh my God! But I know what you mean by having doing sales is kind of fun. Like you just meet.
Yeah, when you
people,
don't need the job.
Yeah, then it's fun.
So I had sales later in life where I needed the job, and then that was a whole nother story. Yeah.
Then it's hell.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was still, the funny thing is, I had a lot of jobs where I did the job, and I hated it at the time. Like I hated the work, I hated the boss, I hated all kinds of things. But then after I quit, there was all these good memories. Like for one, I have a ton of funny stories afterwards. But also, you know, it's like life, right? You go through all this pain and suffering at the time, and you hate it. But then later, you learn people skills. You made a lot of my friends came from a lot of my old works, right? And I'm like, you know, yeah, like so we became friends through pain. You know what I mean?
Camaraderie.
Like, yeah, you know, it's
Went
like,
through war
remember
together.
when we were in prison together? We're buddies, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? You think a job sucks.
Yeah.
Because that was your first or second. It's like, oh, this job sucks.
Yeah.
You get to your second job, I'm like, this job sucks even more. And I get to my third job, I'm like,
This is also-
fucker, this is the worst job ever. I'm quitting. I'm finding a better job. The fourth job is the fucking worst ever.
That's what I mean.
That's
Vicky,
part of growth too.
It
No, that's part
never
of growth.
gets better.
Vicky works in the film industry. That's why, like, I think his job is getting worse and worse and
No,
worse.
not the film industry.
Yeah.
I worked in video production.
Video production,
I started
yeah.
in television in Hong Kong. Then I moved to video production, then weddings, and then
It's like
more video
getting
production.
lower in the hierarchy
It's
of
just, no, it's not lower. I think maybe your expectation is, okay, every job should get better, right? But the fact of the matter is, in my case, it just got worse and worse and worse and worse.
Before it got better.
Before it got better, because I went back to the first company I worked for. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my
see,
gosh.
that's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
Fuck.
See, in the end, you feel appreciation. You're like, hey, you know what? That first job wasn't so bad.
The first job wasn't so bad. I walked in a freaking champ. I went to another department, right? And that guy was the CFO of the sales arm, right? And my skills to him was really important. So I was like, you know, one of the, you know, more cherished workers in that whole department. And I felt really good, right? And, you know, word got out because the first time I was working in that company, I was just like, yeah, that guy's a slacker. Who cares? No one liked him. You know, it was fine. I had friends in the company. You know, I did my thing. So I used to edit dramas. It was really cool, right? And then the drama department fell because we didn't have budget to do that. And I worked for infotainment, which I sucked at, right? And people hated me at infotainment. I'm like, whatever.
Are you talking about the infomercials we're trying to sell, like, fry pans?
No,
and
it's more
stuff?
like travel shows and kind of like food and stuff like that, right? So I wasn't really into that stuff. I was like into like television dramas, right? So, you know, the first time I left the company, left kind of with my head hanging, kind of in shame. Second time I went back a hero, right? And then after, when I went back, the whole company collapsed after like 3 years. I'm like, oh man, that was the best job ever. I got myself to the point where I did around six hours of actual work for the whole week. Right?
Is that why the job was so good?
Yeah.
When you work 6 hours?
Dude, I was just, all the other time was just like, I did my own thing. I did my own.
Slacking.
I made.
Yeah.
You're
I
happy
made,
to be a slacker.
No, I just made my own like short
Process?
films, and I would just edit my stuff in secret,
Right?
right?
Your old boss isn't watching this.
No, he doesn't care. You do his thing. He's happy. You're fine.
Okay.
Why were you the hero when you went back the second time?
Because they needed professional editors, video editors, right? That can carry programming, that could like, you know, produce, you know, not produce, like back end produce, right? So we had affiliates in New York that would produce, like shoot shows, right? They don't know how to put them together. They could get the guests and, you know, they can do a bunch of things, but they don't know how to put the whole thing into a product, right? So they would shoot in New York, send it to us. I would put it together. Like I was a back end and I put everything together and make it an actual show.
So you're like
right?
a director in a way. Or AV.
A bit.
maybe,
I knew how to package everything together, right? And when we had that done, okay, we take it to broadcasting and they shoot it up via satellite and they broadcast it back to New York for our Chinese affiliates in New York, right? So that's a key role I played. So they didn't have that before, right? And having those contacts was important because the people in New York finally, when our company was going downhill, they got us financing to keep the company running, right? So my department was really pivotal in keeping the company afloat because we were just going bankrupt at that time, right?
So, is there any moral to your older Sherry job carrying on to back into your
Yeah, so
glorious return?
so for kids out there who've only had 1 or 2 jobs, you think it might get better. It's not always the case, right? It's you think, yeah, the grass is greener on the other side. You might get paid more, but you might have shittier coworkers, right? Like people who just want to stab in the back, or your boss is messed up. I mean, my bosses in Hong Kong were like some of the worst ever, right? I think I have like mild case of PTSD from working in Hong Kong. Working for a small company, you walk into the company, and sometimes the bosses, they came from some other discipline, right? They have no idea what video production is, but they'll micromanage everything, and that's so annoying, right?
Right.
I mean, this was one company I went in shortly after I left television, and the boss, this lady, she was very passive aggressive. And when that didn't work, she was just super aggressive. She wanted everything done her way, exactly, right? And we would do like corporate videos. So she would shoot like these giant events where people are having dinner and stuff like that. And she always wanted to cut it to jazz, right? And jazz doesn't always have like a steady beat to it. Or sometimes it just doesn't have a beat. And then sometimes she wants stuff, when there is like a beat to it, she wants to cut everything exactly on the beat. So the pictures look really weird, right? Like if you're doing like a standard kind of like a drum beat, you know, everything's like tick, 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 tick,
You're talking about
tick.
irregular rhythm because of they're following the music.
No, but like when you're editing, your music should be playing with the music, right?
Right.
You might hit a few beats, but the rest of it is, you know, going up and down. There's an interaction between them, right? But if the music, every beat dictates your shot, all your shots are exactly the same length, right?
Oh, I see.
And she'll get angry if I don't do that. I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. She's like, no, everything works like that, even in Hollywood. I'm like, no, you people are just fucking stupid, right? And you cut stuff, and she doesn't like it, and they're like, no, I don't like it. Here, work overnight, and then you stay there and you work until like God knows when. Shore the next morning is like, no, I don't like it. Just stay in Saturday and Sunday. Come back and work on it. No, I don't like it. It's like, what the fuck do you want? Why don't you sit there and just edit it yourself, right? Why hire a person and waste their time when you just want it exactly how to, you know, out of your head, right?
Are you getting OT by any chance?
No.
Okay.
No.
Exactly.
It's so dumb. Same with another job, right? The boss is like, it's just, he came from theater and he's running a video production, right? So he can't exactly tell you what he wants. He's just like, here, just do something, just do it. I'm like, can you give me some direction? Like, do you want it to be fast or slow? Like, oh, just do it. Same thing. Looks at it, oh, I don't like it. You do it again. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
That's,
and when you tell him, like,
that's the same with a lot of creative.
No, but you have to have an idea of what you want, right? And I told him about it. Like, dude, you need to be like, have a direction. He's like, well, it doesn't matter. Well, this is the job you were hired for. You're supposed to be here 24/7. You know, you should be on call. That's like, he told me straight up, like, yo, dude, like, I paid you. You know, your ass has to be there working whenever I want you to. Right? That's like, dude, if I worked at McDonald's, getting paid by the hour at McDonald's, I'd make more money at McDonald's.
Yeah, probably.
Right?
What I learned in
ridiculous.
Most of my previous jobs is that, you know, the managerial role, it attracts a lot of people that are just power hungry and they don't actually know a whole lot of stuff, but they want to direct people and they want to control things, right? So that's why you end up with a lot of people that are like in management roles that actually don't know anything. When you know, quite a few of my jobs, I thought they knew everything, right? And then when I realized, I'm like, wow, you actually don't know anything. Like, that's why.
Yeah.
And what they do is they just want to be in control of stuff, and they try to cover up what they don't know by just pushing you.
Yeah, they just, that's their job, making bullshit for you, right? I have another middle manager who's the same thing, right? She's been in television for fucking 25 years, right? But she originally came from like kindergarten. She was a kindergarten teacher, right? And I had to write this report and I had to train a bunch of other kids underneath me. And when she doesn't know something, she'd be like, well, I'm from outside the industry. You got to tell me about this stuff. I'm like, you've been in that fucking industry for 25 years, right? You were a freaking kindergarten teacher for like probably 2, right? Don't make up some dumb excuse,
Is that the voice of the soul we want to say but cannot say things? But
I can say it. I
Did
can
you?
say it. I can say it because I'm unemployable. I'm one of those guys who have like a resume that just doesn't work anywhere, right? I've never had a full-time job in Canada.
So
I think it's really hard to get a
So
full-time job in
you've been
Canada.
doing your own part-time, not part-time, but you've been doing your own thing ever since you came back to Canada.
Yeah, I have to. It's like there's no choice.
How is that working out for you?
Not good. No, apparently it takes a lot of advertising and marketing to get yourself out there.
But there's a way to structure your resumes now that you can.
Or he doesn't want to become an employee again. It's what
I think maybe that's the thing too.
Because that's what I learned when
yeah.
I first started off too, right? Like, I mean, everyone when they start, they have no experience, but you have experience through life experience, and then you structure it according to that, right? So that way, if you structure it properly, looking for a job anyway, you can.
No, sometimes
show
it's really,
experience that
it's
way.
really hard to fill in the holes. People look at it, oh, you have a bunch of holes in your resume.
Oh, I found all kinds of creative ways to fill holes.
Yeah. Here's
Yeah.
your reference here.
Yeah, but the thing is, I find it
yeah.
easier to fill holes in Hong Kong. So in Hong Kong, they actually look at your resume.
Uh-huh.
They're actually people who actually are in HR.
Yeah.
Even if they have really outdated thinking and hiring models and really just superstitions they believe, HR. They actually read your resume, right? So they don't run it through a computer, all that shit. They read your resume, they see what kind of experience you have, and they see how much you got paid at each job. And when you go to the interview,
really?
when you go to the interview, they're like, how much do you want? And they have a number of how much they want to give you.
Uh-huh.
And they'll look at your holes and they'll go, okay, that's a weapon against you to lower your price, right? That's what they use it for.
But in
I
Canada,
think in Canada,
you cannot put those info in your resume either, like your pay and so on.
no, it's different here, right?
Right.
They don't even look at it. It's just running through a application tracking device or something.
Wow.
And it's just like, it's like they just filter you, and they don't even give you a chance.
When you're doing job searching, you gotta assume that you'll be rejected. That should be your assumption.
Yeah, but I think it's
Go
just
low
it's
expectation.
much easier to get hired in Hong Kong. Like there's fast turnaround.
I mean, the Toronto film industry should be booming. They're talking about making a big film town.
Yeah. That's if you work in film. Yeah, I don't want to work in film. That's not my thing.
So what are you trying to do? I mean, more about.
You
wanted to make film.
No, I want to make films. I don't want to work on a film. Big difference.
Wow, is there a big difference?
You want to be a producer of a film.
Yeah.
Oh.
Produce, direct, just work on my own stuff. Like, I don't want to work on someone else's film. That's very different. I think that's even same in Hong Kong. Like, you working on someone else's film is different.
Don't you get any experience from that though? Initially.
You do, but if you're making a film, it's a totally different thing because you're working on a film. You get to meet people, right? And then you get to learn the ins and outs. But if you want to move to producing, you have to work for a producer, and then when you're a producer, that's different. Like, I mean, you're pitching ideas. It's a business. You're working on the business side of things. But if you're working on set doing like physical stuff, that's another thing, right? Yeah.
I see.
All right, so Dustin, what about your shitty jobs? You must have worked a really shitty job before.
I'm the most risk averse of all three of us. I never had a known working days ever since I was 16. I always was working somewhere. Always had a job. Never had a blank.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, but what's your shittiest job?
What did you do?
Well, I started out as a convenience store, clerk for a long time. Then I worked at a pawn shop for about
A pawn shop?
Yeah,
Or porn shop?
Porn shop.
Porn!
Yeah. Porno shop.
Porno
yeah.
shop.
Whoa.
About 4 years during the university.
What did you learn there?
No, just it had a lot of time to study for university.
Study porn?
No, I'm really glad for that job because it actually paid for my university education. And,
So
yeah.
I know some porn shops back then, right? Back in the day, they had little booths
Oh, everyone
where you
does,
can
yeah.
you can rent a movie. What do
Yeah.
they do in there?
What? They masturbate inside.
Yeah.
The whole.
Did you have to clean it up?
No, okay. Some people had to in a smaller location, but I was working on one of the flagship shop, so there was actually cleaner person who had to wipe out the the white stuff on the wall and everywhere on TV. Or,
Why don't those guys just go home and masturbate? Like, what's the deal?
Well, some people. Well, because you gotta remember.
You got parents or something?
No,
or-
you gotta remember VHS and DVD were not that prevalent back then, so some people didn't have it.
You serious?
Yeah.
They were so poor they didn't have a fucking VHS player.
Another thing,
to-
if they live with any other
jerk
person, it's really hard for them to bring it, maybe put in and have a secure half an hour. They can enjoy the
Hey
stuff.
mom, I'm
you
gonna
need
jerk
half
off.
Some people enjoy the full half an hour. They
You know what? I think back then when there wasn't internet, maybe you could stretch it out to half an hour.
Yeah, I mean,
Make a night out of it.
I don't know what they do inside, but they have.
Fucking bro,
yeah.
just have a
Yeah.
have a
It's
fucking wine,
porn and chill, not Netflix
Yeah.
and chill.
wine,
Yeah.
and fucking different. What do you call it? Lubricants.
Yeah, exactly. You have some lubricants, you have some tissues, and
This
Or
show
you-
has taken a wrong turn.
you rent a video, buy a video, so it's not like I'm taking time, right? It's like within 2 hours you're
No,
like,
you
"Oh,
can
come on."
reminisce about the old days without the internet, right?
Yeah, so it's before internet.
Eat some cherries or some shit. You know?
No,
It's like,
should I say
oh.
it's before high speed internet, because internet has been around like since about 98, 97, 98, but before high speed internet,
Okay.
people, yeah, 2005, 2006, people are still going to those shop, rent the DVD, go inside, enjoy, come out. But it's not a shady job, it's very good job where, because like on
Get
average,
to meet a lot of people.
no, on average, if you are working for 8-9 hour shift, right?
Yeah.
I only deal with 15 to 20 people because it's not that busy unless it's a Pride Week. Pride Week is crazy busy for
Pride Week?
yeah.
Okay.
So many out of towners come in.
Looking for porn.
Yeah, a lot of people come for Pride, and
Why? Just isn't there sex at Pride?
I'm not sure, but it's more like lively, I guess. But for I noticed, Pride Week has been always busy week, right? But other than that, I only deal
Pride Week.
yeah.
Come in after Dustin.
I only deal with like about 20 people, so I had plenty of time to study for my university, right? So I study and I take care of some customers, and I wasn't doing cleaning, so I loved it.
So you're getting paid to study.
yeah,
basically.
so it's a minimum pay, but I would gladly accept that for.
There's got to be one bad experience with a customer.
Well, no. When you come into the shop,
Yeah.
have you ever walked into a pawn shop?
I've been
Yeah.
into a really nasty one
Yeah.
before.
So when you walk into a pawn shop trying to rent or buy a pawn, you are not customer complaining asshole. You are trying to hide and try to cost least possible as possible and get some pleasure, right? So I never really had a troubling customer because, yeah, when you walk into pawn shop, you're like kind of like, nobody I know is still there, right? and okay, let's do this, and yeah.
Nobody's like, hey,
Buddy,
excuse me,
Daddy, here's
the
10 bucks."
chair's not very comfortable. Where's all the Kleenex?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if there's no Kleenex, I have
Buddy,
to
help me hold it.
Yeah, resupply, but I never had any problem. But then again, I worked in good shift as well. One of the good shifts, that means like weekends on the morning shift, where these customers, I didn't work on night shift where it goes on to graveyard. Yeah, actually, I worked in some night shifts, but still,
No robberies or anything?
what are you going to rob? Videotapes?
No, just fucking, you got money, right?
Oh, okay. So, well, the only issues is that, yes, people will be stealing some toys.
Oh yeah, you sold toys too?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
People will be stealing some toys. But all the videos you cannot steal them. They're behind me. You only see covers, right? So when you pay, I give you the actual tape or DVD. So there's nothing robbery, and there's no really cash there. Yeah, so
Dude, what did they pay with debit or something? Bitcoins or something?
no cash. Only back then, only cash or maybe.
Yeah, but cash. That's for stuff to people to rob, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I never.
You never got robbed.
I never got robbed.
The big Korean guy never got robbed.
Or maybe some people got. But there's a camera everywhere. They're all watching you. Maybe that's one of the reasons why the place wouldn't get robbed. And it's not the most rich business. If why would you rob?
There's
Why would
cameras
you?
everywhere,
Yeah.
and they still go there to masturbate.
No, why? No, cameras everywhere. cash area and the toy area.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, why would you rob a pawn shop when you can rob better businesses, lower risk?
I thought
Yeah.
the porno shop would be a lower risk, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing business wasn't doing that well.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like.
Well, the
Yeah.
robbers don't care. They're just like, fucking, just give me $50.
Uh,
Dude, when people are high on drugs, they'll just do anything for $50.
Oh.
Did you watch a lot of it?
what you are surrounded by naked, naked everywhere, everything, pictures and covers and everything. And yeah, there's a little TV that's playing porns all the time.
So you got
beside
desensitized.
Yeah.
So you started finding like completely covered women sexy? Is that how
Not,
we're
not to a
going?
degree, but you don't realize it, but unless you work in a porn shop, there's so much niche area of porn industry, from bondage to I don't know, gay females to whatever, right? And it's like, yeah, you get to see all the area of sexual
Yeah.
fantasies, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, you get
So-
desensitized for sure. Yeah.
Oh. So what are the
So
effects?
you're gonna watch a Shemale video, you're not gonna feel anything anymore.
Well, yeah, because I watched it. Yeah, obviously I watched it, and nothing surprises me anymore, right? Yeah, but I mean, who knows?
You're like, this is not freaky enough for me.
Yeah, there are some freaky stuff. There's surprising freaky stuff, But
You go, no, I need something with midgets and.
but I'm talking about the days when Jenna Jameson was still the thing, and it's really old days. I'm not sure what's going on in the porn industry. I haven't worked in the shop since 2005, and I feel sad because all these businesses folded, right? I don't think any of the shops that I used to work
Yeah,
with
I mean,
still around.
porno
Yeah.
businesses are.
No,
you
it's
know-
still huge. It's still huge. It's become
It's still
became
huge?
online.
Oh no,
Dude,
yeah,
one
yeah.
third of internet is porn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
but I think the vintage porno store should be saved. It's one of those heritage things,
No,
It's
but-
just
no,
like
but-
you walk around with your grandkids, you're like, hey, your dad used to, your dad was conceived when I
You go, hey,
picked up a tape
grandpa.
from here."
Grandpa used to go frequent to that place.
Yeah. So
Nobody-
we used to go in
yeah.
and rub our dicks.
Nobody even have Blu-ray player or DVD player or VHS player for. Nobody normal has them anymore. It's all high-speed internet, right? It's just inevitable.
Yeah.
But there are some downtown shops still open, right? I guess their viewing room is still operational and toy business is still around.
Really?
Yeah.
I know there's one at Queen Street.
There's a whole bunch of porn
But
shops.
they
along
cater to
Yonge Street.
women though, right?
I don't know what to say because I haven't walked into them, but I'm sure they are serving some niche still. So I'm sure people still go there to masturbate. Again, if you live in a one-bedroom, share with the 3 other people, you may not be able to. Young men cannot have a safe space to do it, right? And young men, especially young men, has to have some stuff.
Dustin
out.
has compassion and empathy
Yeah.
for those guys at home
course, yeah.
that have roomies.
And I lived in a roommate for a long
So
time.
you basically saved a lot of people's lives.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at all these aggressions.
Yeah.
If they
Dude, if we have
Yeah.
guns in Canada and we didn't have porn shops back then, mass murders,
might be, yeah.
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 You can't let go of this gun, you gotta...
Yeah, that aggression has to come out somewhere. Or,
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
I always think it's better to go to a porn shop and do the masturbation than to grow your rape fantasy and just go after a woman, for example. Yeah. So I think this is a positive thing. On the other hand, easy access to porn can be really harmful to your general health and psyche as well. Because
Yeah, but so are cookies.
no, there's a difference between. So before,
Cookies will fucking kill you, bro.
before at least you have to travel all the way to the pawn shop, walking. You gotta choose your one thing for 2 hours for hundreds of movie, right? So everything's precious. Now you go
Yeah,
to-
everything was
yeah,
precious.
every-
Sacred almost.
Yeah. Now you go in. There's like whatever you want is like right in front of you. in
You're
the
saying
browser.
they
Yeah.
used to appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just because you rent it, you are going to watch it.
Yeah.
You go, I'm gonna watch every minute of
Yes,
this.
I pay for it. I'm going to
Twice.
do it. Then now like click, move on.
Yeah, you got like 4 porns going on.
Yeah.
It's like no. Add a horse into it. Oh,
Yeah,
there
so
we go.
I totally see sexuality sexual fantasy fulfillment is become cheaper and cheaper, and the consequence of this, I don't think we fully realize yet, because like I heard about the report, or another Tinder report say, yeah, people are having less sex.
Less sex?
Around
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah, I
Less?
mean in North America for sure.
Okay.
Especially young men.
Less.
Yeah, less
Okay.
sex. I mean, overall, every age having less sex, because I'm assuming they are fulfilling their desires through internet porn. You know, think about it. When you can have a quick gratification for whatever you want right now, why would you endeavor for that? You know,
Yeah. Speaking of porn, you worked in porn.
you made porn.
No, I didn't make porn. Well, actually, I made a porno
You
spoof.
make it sound like Dustin was in porn.
I made a porno spoof when I was younger. But anyways, there was this job interview I went to in Hong Kong, right? So I applied to a job, and the ad said events, video editing for an event company, right? Whatever, like events. I was like desperate, right? Looks like a shitty job that didn't pay well. So I went up. I went up to this tiny little tower in the middle of nowhere. And I entered, and it was like, this doesn't look like an events company, because there were cubicles and there were 2 young girls working in there, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're just boxes of VR glasses. And when I entered the front door, there was one of these office chairs, the swivel ones, and there was a sex doll sitting in it. It's like, what the fuck did I get myself into, right? I walked in there, right? And I'm like, excuse me, I'm here for the job interview. And they sat me down, we started interviewing, right? And she's like, yeah, so have you ever edited porno before? I'm like, whoa, what the hell is this, right? It's getting interesting.
My God, you're getting interesting. I would
So-
totally take the job. It's like I would totally.
I'm like,
take the job, yeah.
oh my God, this is
Please
not,
give me this job.
She's like, yeah, so here we edit, we make virtual porn. Not virtual porn, like, you know those 360 cameras? Those ones where you can just kind of put on VR glasses and just look and you're like in it. So apparently they made porn, right? With those with those cameras. And then you could view the porn through those glasses, right? And then they wanted someone to edit the porno together. I'm like, that's novel. And it's like, yeah, it's your job to edit the porn. And, you know, when you're done, you watch them. With I'm like,
Please say you said yes to whatever offer they made.
no, I didn't get hired.
That's just shame.
But, that sucked because they were like, yeah, sometimes you gotta be on set to...
Substitute for the person who doesn't show up. That'd be amazing.
So did you tell them that you'd do it for free?
No, I wouldn't do it for free. I didn't get hired. So anyways, it was quite interesting because... it's like, you figured porn was run by big sleazy fat guys, right? But in the studio, there were just 2 very nerdy looking girls with glasses, long hair, and it's like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah, the entry must be like a lot lower nowadays, because before there was like industry behind it, right? They made sure everyone's safe, everyone's tested. Now it's
No, but
like,
they were just the office.
yeah, that's what I mean. Nowadays, anybody can broadcast anything they want on the internet. And
Yeah, you can
who knows
film
what they
whatever
do,
you
yeah.
want on your
Yeah,
phone
yeah,
if you want.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
So there's no production value, or people, I guess, want to see this no production value production as well.
So the highlight of the whole thing, I left and I kind of like felt the sex doll's arm. It was
How did it feel?
It was like
yeah.
it was like hard jello.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like one of those
Hard
Japanese
shell.
ones that are like $20,000.
No, they're made in China now.
Or they're
Yeah,
more
But I
made in
mean,
China. Yeah.
their face and everything is like kind of fleshy.
No, the whole thing is fleshy, right?
Yeah, I know.
I think
I
this
know
was
what
a very long time ago.
materials. I know all these things.
It's made of like the same as breast implants or something.
During the 5 years I worked in the porn shop, every toy went through my hand to get priced.
Yeah, they have. I know they have like 2 types of materials. There's silicone, and then there's a thing called TPE, which is different from silicone, but it's like softer.
There are some new materials, yes, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that doll was really soft, so it must have been TPE. Because silicone is supposed to be tougher. But nowadays, I went online and checked, man. Those
Yeah.
dolls look very lifelike.
Well, the
And,
ones in
uh,
Japan, I think, are the best ones. They're
No,
like $100,000 or something. It's
The
crazy.
best ones come from China.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think Japan kind of just lost the game. Because
Oh, wow, okay.
what happens, I was just so fucking
Were
nothing
you,
to do.
Were you, be honest, were you tempted to get one?
No, because I live with people, right?
Exactly.
But the thing is, I thought, okay, if I get one,
Just hide her in the closet.
no, it's like sooner or later, if you're gonna meet a girl, like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna fucking, oh shit, I got,
No, you put in the garbage and dump it outside.
you gotta saw her up and be like a fucking psycho murder killer, like, and then some lady's gonna be like, oh my god, oh, ah! It's like fucking, some jerk off would come make a fucking news article about it. Oh, it's murder, but look, it's a doll or some shit, right? And they
Yeah.
fucking,
I
you know.
gotta say this, a lot of customers thought the toys, or whatever toys, they were better than real things. I gotta say that.
No, they
Yeah.
thought did it feel better than the real thing?
Yeah.
Or?
Because what? Because you gotta give some women are not the best inside, but the toys are made like
I don't feel this way, ladies. I don't know about this guy.
No, this is
Yeah.
this is
toys are like
let's hear
very
about-
very scientifically made to be really to give you pleasure, right?
No, but the thing is, it's a dead piece of weight, right? Like,
no,
what's
no,
the?
no. So inside,
doesn't move.
No, inside is molded in a way that will give you man. It will give man, or the best pleasure it can give. So oftentimes,
yeah, I know, but that's only that part, right?
yeah.
Like when you're
Oh, you mean
with
the
a
other part,
woman,
Yeah.
when you want them to move around, they
I mean,
move
yeah,
around.
all
and
those things you gotta use your imagination. But
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the sex part. A lot of people are very
The
satisfied.
actual,
Yeah.
the actual part itself, right?
Yeah, the vagina part, you know?
Because I imagine
Yeah.
having just a dead weight there just feels kind
I
of.
don't know. I mean,
It's like there's no feedback.
No, some of them has also only the
You know, Ricky, Ricky wants someone I think that is agile.
No, like I want feedback. I want feedback. You know when you use an app, it makes clicking noises. When you use a cheap app, you press it doesn't make a noise. The button doesn't go down.
I see.
It doesn't give you a kind of like a tactile feedback.
Yeah,
it's like,
I
with a
wonder.
doll, you're like,
Would it be like comparable to necrophilia where you are?
yeah. So
Sex
you're
with that person.
No,
I
so you're
wonder.
doing the doll, and you're like,
Yeah.
are you feeling good? Are you feeling good? Am I doing something right? Like, See,
With
with
the
a
doll, it's just everything feels good. Everything's good.
no, with a
Everything's-
person,
you're awesome.
oh, okay, you're lying to me, right?
Don't ask for feedback to an actual person. There's
No,
that's
just
not-
to
that's
tease
not-
them.
Okay, okay.
How do you feel, right? Just to tease them,
Yeah,
right?
y-
But
yeah.
the doll would be like, so how is it, honey? If it talks back, then you're fucked.
Oh,
Run for
then
your life.
you are fucked. Yeah, when the doll talks back.
That'd be a good horror movie.
Okay. Honestly, I have no experience, so I cannot tell you what. But I'm watching people are using their imagination. But with coming metaverse, I'm sure all those feedback issue you are
Oh,
having.
dude,
will
I
get,
bet you people would be
ameliorated.
having sex as a horse or as a fucking Greek god or something.
Whatever scratch your itches will happen.
Fucking look at me, I'm a My Little Pony.
Yeah.
It's
You
like
can be the
My Little
pawn
Pony orgies or
yeah,
some shit. And it's
or
like,
unicorn or you whatever. You
yeah, I'm done with that shit. I'm not
Polka dot
touching
pony.
it.
Yeah.
Although, if I had a Wiki's opportunity or Wiki's skill, I say I will pay you for a couple of sessions to work for this.
What, porn?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I sold and I rented out stuff, but I actually am curious what happens in the set, and I'm assuming, the other portrait section was that much effort going to just take portrait picture. I'm sure this porn is, it's like a movie, right?
I heard from a friend who actually worked on a porn set. He said it's not fun.
Yeah, I assume so.
It's not fun. It's just work.
Yeah, I mean,
Like the guy?
You don't know, yeah.
So the guy is just doing this, and he can't go whenever he feels like it, right? He has to hold it
Yeah.
until the director's like, "All right,
Good enough, yeah.
good enough," and then you have to count of 10, right?
Uh-huh.
If you don't release at the count of 10, then you get yelled at or something because you're wasting film.
I
Because
imagine
back in the
so,
day of
yeah.
film, like you're fucking wasting film, right? So
Yeah.
if they count down to 10, and if you don't let it go,
This is like a long time ago.
yeah, you're wasting film, right?
Yeah,
So
okay.
I don't know what it is in video now, but
Well, that's why porn stars are porn stars.
But you can probably fake some stuff, right? I mean, you can pull it out.
See?
And then on the outside the
It's like
camera,
I was
spray 'em
saying,
with
even
fucking,
with porn stars and doing that, it's all 80% psychological.
it is psychological.
It's like 99%
Either-
psychological. It seems to me.
yeah.
It is psychological.
Yeah.
You say go, he's like,
My God, if you have the mental capacity like, to hold and go like you want, I think that will be an amazing skill.
Yeah. So what other shitty jobs have you had? Or
We're really going in this shitty job topic.
yeah,
right?
yeah. What? Yeah, shitty.
I
jobs.
never had a shitty job. I had good job all my throughout my career ever since
You're-
graduating. I am
You're-
very
You're a lucky guy.
I am a very conscientious worker
You're a lucky
who
guy.
always give 100% or more. And I am very employable because I am very conscientious
You're
person.
a lucky guy. You
Yeah.
never had a job that you hated. You had jobs that were not great, but you found the best out of it. You saw it as training.
yeah, I was.
I
going
had
for-
jobs where it's just like they just want to suck the living crap out of me.
No, to be
Every
honest,
bit of energy is
no,
like-
to be honest, every creative industry is somehow built upon exploitation, for sure. I mean,
It
I
is,
worked in
I
I worked in game industry for 10 years, right? All the programmers.
There you go.
Are-
Let the shit out.
No, it's
Come on,
exploited
man.
because
Dirt.
no, it's just
Found
that.
the dirt.
I mean, we all come into gaming industry because we love it. We love games, right?
But there's a shitty part of it.
The shitty part is, yes, you are working overtime all the time. Like
But-
8 months out of a
Yeah.
year period time.
But is your time wasted? Did they ever waste your time?
I mean, no, but the thing's
Like I've had
Yeah.
projects where I
Yeah.
worked on for a month and it was just dumped.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I'm assuming if you work in, say, shady project, right?
Yeah.
But I always
Yeah,
work
yeah.
in a big companies.
Yeah.
I made sure I work for
Yeah,
big companies
yeah.
where projects are good. So I only had like one game that didn't see a light of day in my career.
But still, that game probably cost a lot.
I assume so, but sometimes you gotta pivot. It's not
Yeah.
going to work out. You gotta pivot. Or technology or
Yeah.
current technology, because this was a kung fu game that just didn't work back when the internet was so slow. The
Okay,
fighting
okay,
game.
yeah.
So they were being ambitious. It didn't work out. I understand that. The company folded within like I don't know, some year of my not departure. I got whatchamacallit, mass layoff, right? But ever since that, my first game company, which is a small journal game studio, I always worked for one of the biggest game companies in the world, right? Like Capcom, Game, etc., etc. So I never worried about job security. But what I am concerned is that I love the job. I love the fact. I love every moment that I was working there. The people are super passionate. And
Do you still have friends with other coworkers and stuff?
yeah. So these passionate people who love gaming, when you're working in a place where everyone is passionate, it's such a great experience, right? And they pay you, not.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't get paid for OT for sure. So your hourly wage compared to the hour you work, probably like not McDonald's level, right? Minimum wage level, but and you get fat because you are staying overtime all the time, and they're feeding you hamburgers and pizzas and fried food Indian every day.
Yeah.
Like
Is that-
eight
is that
months.
how you went up to, like, 200?
8 months out of 12 months was crunch time. That means I usually stay late, right?
Yeah.
And then the other 4 months is like downtime where like not much work is going on. But yeah, so my health was really getting bad. That's for sure. And one of the reasons after 10 years in the game industry where I loved it, because also when I was married, you work in a place where your dinner comes to you every day.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about it, and
Yeah, but you didn't see your wife, right?
no, that was before I got married.
Oh, before you got married.
After I got married, then I felt about the work-life balance is kind of skewed. I didn't get to go home. I had to sometimes come in during the weekends. A lot of times during the weekends,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, work is great, and
Yeah.
unless you have a life,
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, I want to live my life. Yeah.
But to be honest, yes, a lot of us gaming nerds don't have life,
Yes.
and rather the things like when your hobby is gaming, when you're working in game studio, you are surrounded with the people who share the same hobby. So there's always some kind of gaming going on, like cafeteria or something, and you can talk about all these things you want. So it's like a heavenly place.
Yeah.
Except that yes, it will suck your time away, There's no work-life balance, and most likely, if you are eating shitty food, then your health will deteriorate.
Did that joy of the job kind of lead you to make you want to make your own game?
No. I mean, the reason I wanted to make my own game is because I always wanted to make some story happen.
Right. Okay.
But
it's not because you want to recreate that magic of the job, right?
oh no. I mean, after whatever you enjoy after I think 2-3 years,
Yeah.
there's novelty goes away, job becomes
Okay.
mundane, right? That's why like you have to have something new every few years just to keep things fresh. But then again, game industry is another thing that yes, usually every 2-3 years you get a new novelty called new project, and old thing goes out, you get to work on something new, right? So I think
So that refreshes you and you
Yeah,
restart and you
in a
feel
way.
rejuvenated.
again, yeah, I work for bank now, but because I'm always doing something new
Yeah.
every 3-4 months at least, and that's the way I keep myself fresh in the
Didn't you say at that job they allow you to work on someone else's project for a while or something?
in the game company or
I think it's your current one, right? Where you said for
Uh-huh.
some on the weekend or something, you're allowed to work on someone else's project, whichever one you want.
oh, there's some other company,
Oh,
not,
that's
not
another
my
company,
company.
sorry.
This was like not Squaresoft. The Square now that became
Square Enix.
no, not Square Enix. The Square company that became now something else. The name changed into not Meta,
Alphabet.
Crypto. You know, don't you guys know what Square is? It's one of the payment company, the Jack Dorsey company.
No, don't know.
Jack Dorsey of the Twitter. Oh my God. Anyways, the company changed the name to something new.
Okay.
Used to be called Square.
Yeah. But those are strategies that they use to kind of keep you
Yeah.
motivated.
They
and-
pay their, well, I gotta say Canadian banks don't pay as well as big techs. But big tech company pay well and they try to make the employees happy.
Yeah, but big tech, you work yourself to death, right?
No, one of the things they do is that say Google, say at Google 20% of your time, which is 1 day out of week, you can work in any project you want.
Turn off. You'll have to connect to a Wi-Fi network first.
Your phone was just saying something. Okay.
That's not
Oh,
my
because I said Google. I guess that's Google Assistant came on. You said your phone?
No.
Okay.
Mine doesn't talk to me.
Oh, that's funny.
Mine's a Chinese phone. You have to
Yeah.
speak Mandarin.
Well, I'm sure your Google phone is saying, when I say hey Google, oh my phone over there maybe.
Data is turned off. You'll have to connect to
Oh,
a
it's your
Wi-Fi
phone.
network.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Your Wi-Fi is turned off.
Yeah, it's turned off.
You can't remotely do it.
Yours is the American phone, right?
Yes. So yeah.
Stop saying "Hey Google."
Oh, you're seeing it.
Jesus Christ, we're surrounded!
So yeah, they let you work.
If I can help in any way.
Fucking shut all of you! Shut up! All of you! You and you! Is there anything?
Oh,
Is
that's
it,
funny.
any more hiding? 3D printer perhaps wants to say something?
Or my phone.
So your
yeah.
phone recognized your voice.
Yeah. They're trained to recognize my voice.
Interesting. I didn't even know my voice
You gotta
was
turn on
so...
Google Assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you turn on Google Assistant, yeah, your phone will speak whenever you mention "Hey Google."
But what if you have, a girlfriend?
Again.
Data is
See
turned
that?
off.
Yeah.
You'll have to connect to a Wi-Fi
She
network.
recognized
I
you.
don't know how to help with that yet. But I know
Maybe they're both talking to each other.
They're starting to take over.
Let's say this G company lets you work 1 day out of a week on whatever project you want, and say Square or company that used to be known as Square or the other company, some other company lets you spend some like they work on the project that you want to work on some portions of the time. Which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, say, imagine 20% of your life you can do whatever you want. I think the other 80%, I think you will work even harder to keep your 20% privilege. That's a huge, right? And
Yeah.
not that the other 80% of time is wasted. I always think as long as you're working for something important,
Yeah.
then you can keep your motivation. when
That's why.
yeah, it's when your working is less than what you think is important, then a lot of things can crush down, right?
Yeah.
For example, I always remind that I am serving like 3 million Canadians, whatever I do. So those things are important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I think that's where like flexibility is very important in your job, or at least that you feel that you have some control. You know, so I
Yeah.
think that's why Ricky likes to do his own independent stuff. Yeah, and that's why like I enjoyed being like setting my own schedule and doing my own thing. You know, as much as possible.
Yeah, and I know the sensation because it's an awesome sensation to do your own thing. You know, I spent 10 years making my own games. It was I wouldn't, in a way, that's like direct cause of my divorce because I was spending so much time on the game project. But I wouldn't exchange it for any other thing because I just burned myself out. I gave him my all. This is like what I can call my own. Yeah, here it is out the world, and yeah, I'm glad close to like 20,000 people got to enjoy it. Yeah, so I have no regret.
No, it's good.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure. Like, I hope Ricky get the same sensation, and you too. You know, your work get to be enjoyed by a lot of people.
Yeah, I think well with me and Ricky, I
Yeah.
think we're both creating our own,
Yeah,
you know, opportunity to do our own schedule
Yeah.
basically,
And, you
to
know,
do the things that we want to do.
everyone
Control.
watches movies, so you know you have potentially everyone on the planet as your target. Your business, I'm sure, like hundreds and thousands of people you can reach, or millions of people you can reach, right?
Yeah.
So I hope that comes true.
Yeah, I know. You know, that's why I'm here. It's my
Yeah.
only, you know.
You're
after-
trying to get used to talking to video and make a whole thing flow and so on.
This it'll be helpful, right? Like it'll be
Practice.
helpful. I don't know how much I will do, but you know.
I may do it, you know, just a DIY version of that John's idea about my journeys to a relationship. Just in terms of a vlog in front of a webcam, not the whole whatever he's visioning, right? Because I find this experience very enjoyable. That's why.
Yeah.
And I bought a new webcam for Boxing Day.
Whoa.
No, I bought a $40 Microsoft webcam for Boxing Day. It's so much better than my old laptop one.
On Amazon?
No, at the Best Buy.
Oh, Best Buy. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So Brian, it's like you starting your own thing. Like, what led to that? Do you think your whole life led up to that, or?
Yeah, all my different jobs, it kept moving in this direction, right? Like
So
I-
you saw it as like, okay, it's like the ultimate form of where my life is going, kind of, right?
Nah, let's not call it ultimate, but
I would. It's like breadcrumbs. It's like breadcrumbs because you know, when I first came out, you know, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I'm not. So yeah, I had a pretty hard time in school. But again, all the hard times, you know, led to all my revelations and my good times, right? So you know, I struggled through school. Never knew what I really, you know, was supposed to do, and I only dreamed when I was younger. I was like, I wish I was really good at math or really good at guitar or something, so then I can just be like those people that just play guitar their whole life or become a mathematician or whatever, right? But I never had that, right?
maybe you end up busking street artists. You know?
Yeah. But you know, I grew up with all these struggles, right? Like I was really shy, I was really weak, I really had low self-esteem. I came from, you know, like you know, not the greatest family in the world. But all those, you know, it's very painful when I was a kid. But then, you know, as I go through all my jobs, then I built myself up. I overcame all these things by myself, you know, and then that, you know, it basically, whatever didn't kill me, it made me stronger, and that became my, you know, my purpose. You know, that became my playing guitar or whatever. It's like I can show you how to overcome your shyness. I can, you know, show you how to overcome a dysfunctional family. I can show you how to, you know, overcome low self-esteem, and, you know, like again, being, and not only just, you know, not being shy anymore, but all the way on the other side of being really like a social butterfly, which, you know, people, yeah, now, I mean, they can't believe like, you know, that I was shy before, you know what I mean? Yeah, I overcame all these things. I became a very strong person without really realizing it. Like I always had this kind of, idea that I'm still weak. I have to always, continue to be stronger in every way, physically, mentally. And then before you know it, I realized I'm like, wow, I surprised myself. I started to realize that not everyone else is as physically strong as me, as mentally as strong as me, as socially as strong as me. I started, I was actually like way over on the other side, and I'm like, wow, these are my skills. These are, I can show people the way. Like before I was like busy, as a kid, trying to find my way out of the forest, and now I know the path. So but job wise, I had, I learned like one of my jobs. I spent like a couple of years there, right? It's really like a long period of time where I was just doing like IT stuff, right? And I learned everything from scratch. I didn't know anything. I didn't go to school for it. They were willing to train me for it, and it was fun. I did these jobs for fun, but I realized there that I'm like, wow, I'm really social. Like, in an IT firm where everyone's like a nerd, and I'm like, I'm like, and they're like, and then when I
I'm
saw,
afraid of you.
No, yeah,
Oh no, Brian wants
true.
to talk.
that, yeah, it's
Leave
true,
me alone.
I was, I walked around.
I'm sorry, Brian. I have to drink coffee now.
No, yeah, people did stare at me kind of strangely, right? Because they were like, "Why is this guy so happy, and he's just make friends so easily?" Like,
he was on cocaine.
no, yeah, people thought like I used to drink a lot of pop at that time. Like, I mean, this is only because I see you guys now. I drink mostly water, seriously, but
We gotta talk about that new diet too. Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, in that job, I realized because I was getting bored and I actually fall asleep while doing my job. So I did it well, but the thing is, I'm like, wow, I'm so bored here because, for me, I needed. So I would get up and go get parts and stuff, which I didn't need, or I would separate them so that I'd get one part at a time. Like I kept coming back because I needed to talk to people, So I kept talking to the guy at the parts department, hey, how's your weekend and this and that, and that was me. Yeah, seriously, I was like the most social one in the company. I would walk through the halls, and I'd just be like Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky. Hey, how's it going? How Everyone else is like, oh my God, who is this guy? And anyway, after doing that job for quite a few years, and then I saw all the old people there, right? So you could either work there for 25 years and get early retirement, or if you're of age, you can retire. And I would see those people. They were like just so bored, or they're only there for money. Like,
Does that scare you?
what?
Just people being one place for their whole life? And
No,
then retire?
I didn't mind, but the thing is, as
No,
long
but
as
does that scare you?
does it scare me? No.
Yeah.
You were like
No,
that.
Putting yourself in their shoes.
Oh.
No, the thing
That's
is, I had a buddy there that was, around my age, and he was thriving there. So this company would pay for you to get upgraded education. And so that was great, but the thing is, I realized for me, I don't have a dream of being here for 25 years. If this is, I thought my buddy was great. Like he's like, Dustin in the porn shop.
I will pay.
He's
I
like-
pay to be a pornographer.
I want to be here forever.
videographer of a porn.
No,
But
like-
okay, so I get your point. I have a couple of questions, but is that why you are running away from your job, because you are afraid of you'll be bored out on one position if you stay for too long?
Yeah,
Do you have actual fear of that?
I do.
But this is the
I do.
difference,
I have
right?
a fear of being just somebody.
You want to be somebody special,
Somebody different.
somebody significant.
Maybe not special, but some people, I just want to be like someone who says, yeah, I did something. And people are like, oh yeah, this guy did something.
Oh.
Yeah,
Like,
you wanna
like
be
he left
significant.
something behind when he croaked.
You want to have a legacy.
Yeah, legacy. Cool. Yeah. So I think sometimes when I did have jobs I did like, not all jobs I had in Hong Kong were terrible. But at a certain point, you're like, oh shit, man, I really got to get to making that short film. Or I really have to do this thing. You
Yeah.
know, if I don't do it, I'll go. It's like a dog not getting out and taking a shit.
Yeah.
you start scratching your ear, you fucking slobber all over the place, you chew up people's socks.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got that thing.
You have a passion that you want to fulfill.
Or something that has to be done.
Yeah, it's just you just got to do it,
Yeah.
kind of thing, right?
It's
So-
like me and my freaking games.
It's you and your
had to-
freaking game.
Had to do it.
You and your freaking
Yeah.
game.
And now it's at least it's done, right?
Okay, on the flip side,
Yeah.
because I've done what I was trying to do for my game has a long story. Actually, the game story was basic game story was made between me and my friend when we were 10 years old or 12 years old in grade school. Basically, I spent next 25 years or whatever 30 years of my life trying to make that come true. And after that, after it was finished, I was so lost because I got to my core.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was
you-
too.
yeah.
After I finished
Yeah.
a film,
Uh-huh.
and because I finished a film and not a lot of people watched it, and I felt very lost. But it's that learning period afterwards. Is like,
You're
you
that,
gotta-
that film. You felt like that was your accomplishment, but you didn't feel that it was received
not enough
very
people
well.
watched it, or I didn't get enough recognition for it. But apparently, it's not like that, right? The learning part comes in later, where it says even Hollywood has to spend millions of dollars to get people to watch a damn film.
Do you think you deserve wide recognition for your work?
No, I don't deserve wide recognition. I deserve more,
More,
right?
As in
Like
okay.
same. So I did a
You're talking about
Ghostbusters
Ghostbusters, yeah.
short film,
Uh-huh.
and it was done very well.
Uh-huh.
It looked better than a lot of other Ghostbusters films on YouTube, but they got more views, right?
I see.
And then, well, I don't know how the algorithm works, and it just really it was depressing.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, yeah, like I said, you don't know how it works. Like there was this one where a bunch of kids wear Ghostbuster uniforms, and they were doing some weird thing, but they had a channel that had a large following to begin with, right? And then if you're comparing to those people, then you're going to lose because they already had an audience, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of marketing that goes behind a lot of films in Hollywood. Just because it's a big film doesn't mean people will go watch it. You have to really just jam it down people's throats.
when I was doing photo shooting with him, I was so surprised that we could make so many interesting faces. I mean, I couldn't, but
This is my taste of heaven face.
So what
I
has
could
to
totally imagine him going down.
Taste of heaven.
what has to happen for you to feel that you're
Well,
recognized?
either going viral is like perhaps 80% luck, or otherwise it's a lot of money marketing, right?
I think,
But I
think
want to know like what has to happen for Ricky to feel satisfied.
nothing.
No, well, you said you felt like shit though when that didn't kind of get enough
As a
views.
creator, once you reach your goal, even if like a billion people saw it, you're gonna wake up the next day, and there goes your dopamine. You need a bigger high.
Yeah.
So
It's always like what's
for you, you're just like have you already achieved what you wanted, or
No.
are you?
Well, he's not even close to achieving.
I think as
So how do you know if you've achieved it then?
you never get it.
So basically, your
It's like-
your destiny is you'll never be happy.
I'm a recovering perfectionist, right? I figured out perfectionism doesn't work.
Yes, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, but it doesn't stop you from trying.
Well, perfectionism exists. Perfection doesn't exist.
Like
So are you saying you always will not be unhappy then?
you'll never reach the point where you're fulfilled.
No.
With
When you're going towards your goal, it just really makes you happy.
Yeah.
that's why
yeah.
when you ask me how come I don't
So
need a
you
girlfriend,
love this the journey.
Yeah.
when you ask me why I don't need a girlfriend, because I'm chasing something different,
Yeah.
You're-
Something
right?
very important, I guess.
something different, and something I like. But once you get it, you're like, oh fuck, it's gone. Then you start chasing another one. You have another idea, you start going for it, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of creatives out there, no matter how many Academy Awards they win or how much money they make, they're still. It's like the surfer, dude. I want the bigger wave. Next wave, please. Bigger wave.
Okay.
That's
But,
the thing.
I mean,
that's,
at that time, are you being fulfilled, like to chase your journey?
I think the
your process?
chasing part is just so thrilling, right?
Yeah, you go to bed super happy. It's like, oh my god, that line was so great. Or
It's like, oh, I figured out the scene. I wrote
Yeah.
it down, and then you
Yeah.
go to.
So you feel the same way with games?
You have to.
When you're
Don't lie. You're a creative. I know how you think. It's like
well, game was a vehicle for telling a story, right? In the end, I'm trying to tell some story, right? Yeah, I was really happy when I was getting closer to my goal because like I wouldn't change those urbanizing.
see the difference between you and me is you got the whole life thing down. You got your place.
Yeah, because I never quit my job because or the reason that the game project took so long was also because I'm working full-time job fully at the same time.
No,
I'm
but
trying to
you,
work on
yeah,
it.
you got the stable
Yeah,
Asian thing going,
yeah.
and then you're just waiting for that next one to catch the next wave, right? See, me coming out of television in Hong Kong, we shifted a lot, right? No one was at the same company for more than a year. Because it's always like, okay, next guy's offering more money. I'm going to go work for them for a few months. I'll come back. I'll go to this place for another job. It was just, everyone was shifting every place, right? Works in Hong Kong, doesn't work here. People say, oh, you couldn't even hold a job for 3 months? I'm sorry, we're never going to hire you. Fuck off, right? But
Life.
But like everyone who's chasing that next project, that feeling.
Yeah.
So,
I wish I could function like him. This is my year 10 at the same job. I never worked in any job less than 3-4 years. Like that's how stable I am, right?
the longest job I had was 2.5. I would have kept it longer, but the company failed.
Yeah, the first company you went back to, right?
Yeah, it failed. It was the first ever Chinese language television station on Earth. It was in Hong Kong.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, when it first started, it was called RTV. Was it RTV? Yeah, it's the first one. It started as a radio, and then it turned into a television station, and it broadcasted in Cantonese and English. Then it changed its name a few times to ATV, and then it shut down.
What?
And it was crazy, because I was there when it shut down. I was in the control room, right? At the last minute, they turned off all the channels. We had
Holy
4 or
smokes.
5 channels or something. Turned it all off. It's on my phone.
That's a history of your history of something.
Yeah, I was there when the first
Makes you
Chinese
cry.
television station lights out.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucked
It
up.
was a bittersweet moment.
Yeah, I was like, that's the best job I ever had. But anyways, I was in the middle of making my short film anyways. When I was
Yeah.
in there, it was good because I didn't have that much work, so I could do whatever I want. Like fuck it, right? Yeah, but
I mean, yes. Are you actually, by the way, I gotta ask, since New Year's and all, are you actively working on your project?
yeah,
right
I
now?
always.
No, as in like, are you actually putting down your hours right now?
What do you mean putting down my hours?
Actually putting your hours into your project right now.
Oh, no.
Intelligent every day.
No. I don't have an hour chart. I just have a calendar.
It's
Like
time-
today I'll
Give
do.
him some pointer so he can get to his goals. Like you gotta actually schedule work in your daily life to make progress.
No, it's in there, but it's not in hours.
Then what?
It's just chunks of time. It's like in the morning I'll do like an Uber run, and then in the afternoon I'll work out. Like I'll write down the heaps of stuff I do. Like because if I'm like recently I've been working on my website.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
You
I
need a
thought of-
website to have credibility, to cast people, because people see you don't have a website and you look kind of dingy. They don't want to work with you,
By
right?
the way, the live action means what? I thought you meant like, are you going to be shooting in some doors? Is it the live action or is it actual person thing is called
No,
live action?
person.
Oh, okay.
Person.
I saw his Facebook
Person.
thing. Yeah.
So I'm building my website, right? I'm not going to give myself hours because I know when I start working, I'll keep working until I fall asleep.
yeah.
If I write down the hours, I'll just get up and do something else. I'll just break my train.
No, as in schedule in so you can do something for your thing no matter what is what I mean.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, good.
But I don't give myself solid hours because sometimes things overflow into each other, right?
Yeah, that's why you gotta schedule it to safeguard that hour.
No, but sometimes when you're doing something and you're on a roll, you don't want to
Oh,
break
well,
it.
you can always go over. What I mean is like safeguard the time so you can always do these things. Like,
It's more like I have these things I have to do, I'll get them done. Kind of thing.
I don't like it, but okay.
Yeah.
Let's